Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome to the 8th devlog. Yeah, we're super excited to bring you guys this the devlog. 2 weeks have passed. We've done so much work, and I'm here with Rule. Rule, say hi.
Hello, everyone.
Rule is working on some really cool stuff. He's really good with networking, but he has also done some incredibly shader work, which he'll be helping me explain in just a second. But let's just first talk about the environment as a whole, because that's basically what this devlog is primarily going to be about. We have upscaled our world by 22 times, something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, because in the previous devlog we had 3 terrain pieces, and that was it. And we really felt that in order to really present a more finalized MMORPG that's Kickstarter ready or alpha tester ready, we really needed to have an open world. Otherwise, it's not necessarily an MMORPG. So that's what we've done. Roel helped me with that to set that up, and I have sculpted a massive terrain. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to show the entire world, because it's literally going to take me 20 to 30 minutes in game to walk from one end to the other. We're going to focus on the town, because that's had a lot. That the town has had a major makeover as well, and maybe in future devlogs we'll try to show more of the other areas. So, all right, let's go, Roel.
Yes.
So, yeah. So the first thing you probably notice is that the gates are still the same. But other than that, most things have changed. The texture artist and we have revamped the color palettes for the buildings. They're actually all interactable. You can walk upstairs, and they're still empty though. That's still some work in progress. But they're there, and we feel that with this new color palette, it's more neutral, and it kind of complements the nature color palette a little bit better. So yeah, that's the first major upgrade. Within the town, there's actually a certain layout that we've made that we hope will provide new players with some sort of logic. There's like a little small districts within the village. If you walk in through the main gate, if you were to go to the left, you'll be having the professions such as herbalism and alchemy. And in the back there's a church. That's actually where we're gonna end this. Well, it's not the end of the video, it's like where we're gonna be midway, as that's where Roel will be taking over and explain some cool stuff about the shader. So that's over there on the left. On the right is where the blacksmith and mining is going to be. That's where we're gonna go first. In the middle there's like the tavern. It's more of like a small village vibe place. And in the back there's going to be the main town hall and the ship. So that's gonna be pretty cool. All right, so let's go. Let's just see how the blacksmith area looks like at the moment.
Yeah. And in the meantime, you have a name tag above your head, and so have I.
Oh yeah, of course.
It's also a nice new addition to the game. Makes it
Absolutely.
a bit easier to recognize other players.
Yeah, and it's very customizable. So like when you open up the game, you're gonna be able to easily add in your own username. I think eventually it's gonna be swapped with the actual character name. That's gonna be attached to the character creation, which is something that is on our to-do list. But yeah, that's still a little bit further away than, than this version. But yeah, so over here's the blacksmith. Here's where the blacksmith NPC will also be. And this is where you're going to be able to actually craft some of your weapons, or maybe repair some of your weapons. This is supposed to be water, but it's now brown because there's no shader or no material
It's
for
dirty
the
water.
It's 31. Exactly. And then over here is going to be the miner NPC is going to be able to teach you how to mine certain ores, and to make things easy to make. Oh, I don't think this one has a collider, so don't walk. Don't walk in if you want.
It's dangerous.
You'll actually fall through the map. But yeah, just to make things convenient and teach you guys how to do certain things within these professions, I've made a little mine over here where you can get your first low tier ores or mining resources, and that should really help you guys get started with like understanding how these professions work. And to be fair, only these two professions really have that. The other ones don't necessarily have that cool integrated location thingy. But yeah, this I'm really happy with this area over here. If we move on, I think this is north. I'm not entirely sure. We don't have a compass actually, so it's gonna be quite difficult to give coordinations. Over here is where making clothing will be. Tailoring, leatherworking, that sort of stuff is gonna be in this area. So yeah, that should also be quite easy to find. All right, let's go to the main area. Yeah. Okay, so this is basically the center of the map, and what we're hoping is that this place is kind of where you're gonna be meeting your friends. At the moment, there are a lot of buildings because whilst I was doing the level designing, I was kind of hoping to create some sort of village feel. I might open up this place a little bit more, because if there are more than 50 players, for example, then this might be a little bit too small, but it definitely gets the feel that we're going for in there. So yeah, so here's gonna be the tavern. I made the tavern slightly bigger. Oh, there's some grass here. This doesn't.
Nobody's been here in a while.
No, this is the new menu item. You can actually eat from the ground in the tavern.
It's a restaurant.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the tavern. So that's also pretty cool. Yeah, let's just get to the church, and then Roel's gonna explain some stuff, and then I'm gonna have to do some cool tweaking within the shader that he has made. I'm not entirely sure if we can actually spoil already what's gonna be there at the church. I think I can, but I don't think
we should keep some stuff in the future.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so the reason we're walking over here to the church is because we felt that this is a great place to kind of display the shader. So I'm gonna let Roel do the talking, and I'm just going to quickly alt tab to the Unity editor and kind of show what this.
Yeah. So what we wanted from the terrain shader is, one, give our artists less work, because currently we had to paint all the terrain manually. If we want to have a nice hill, we had to color it ourselves, and we wanted Unity to do that for us. So I made a shader that looks at the angle of each section of the terrain and colors it accordingly. So when Nathan is ready, he can manually select at which angle of the terrain which color will be shown. So you see a giant menu of a lot of settings, because our artists love settings. So we obliged. So yeah, you can see the different thresholds. This is where each new color will start. And so yeah, currently flat areas will have a nice green color, and slightly more angled will have a slightly darker green, and like really steep angles will have a dark color to like make mountains and stuff.
Yeah.
So you can see you just change the color and it shows up nicely.
The fact that Roel's been able to make a shader that is so dynamic and super adaptable to the other art assets that and the other artists make is incredibly. It's just so convenient because we change the color of grass maybe 5 times a week, for example, and then being able to just being able to paste the hex code in here, for example, is great. And then normally I would have to, for example, if I were to sculpt a new mountain, for example, I would literally have to paint all the gradients. Like, for example, if I go over here, there's a little bit of a harsh line, but I'm pretty sure that we can make that softer if we wanted to. In this case, I won't, because I find it aesthetically pleasing. Sounds maybe weird, but that's something we're going for with the art style. Like, there's partially gradients and parts that won't have that much of a gradient, but the terrain detects how it works. So basically what I can do real quick, at least I think I can, is if I select the terrain, this, and I sculpt a with a soft brush, a bit smaller. Boom, there you go. Make it opacity a little lower. So, as you can see, angle is very little, so it still stays green. But if I go higher, you can see that the new color appears. And the steeper the angle becomes, the more brown, in this case, appears. And that literally just makes that I can sculpt whatever terrain I want and keep tweaking it as I like, and I don't have to touch the texture paint tool at all. The only thing I have to texture at the moment are the pads on the floor, like these things, because that's almost insane. That'd be impossible to I think include.
That took a while to get working. Like the painting on the terrain, that's something that's built into Unity, but when you decide to make your own terrain shader, it can be a bit difficult to get those things working again.
Yeah.
So we have a few limits because of the way we do it, but we can also paint over the terrain that's generated.
Yeah, because as you guys can see, here's the materials being used for the terrain, and we literally have our own material, and the material is connected to the shader, and that way Roel can do a lot of cool stuff. So, but yeah, overall, in conclusion, the amount of time that it has saved me, like I can now actually zoom out and kind of show you guys how big the world actually is at the moment. A little bit of the
Don't mind the UI.
But yeah, as you guys can see, if I look around, like the town is basically 1/12, maybe of the whole world, and we are still able to expand. If we like select a tile at the end, we can add more if we want to, although I doubt that's going to be necessary for the alpha version. But if you can see how much I've sculpted, for example, in this spider area, which is where we'll be going to finish up this video, this to hand texture this with the terrain tools would have taken me a week, and now I don't have to do anything, which is just
and that would be just the first version. If you decide to change the terrain, you'd have to do it again.
Oh, that was such a pain. In the previous devlog, like, we changed one little thing, like we moved the building, and then I constantly have to first do the terrain sculpting. That's fine, but then I also have to change the whole texturing, and that's just too much work.
Yeah. And we added some like small features, because just the color alone on the terrain is a bit bland, a bit boring. So if you look at the green closely, you see a bit of a texture on top of it. That's just some extra like roughness we added to give it a bit more character, a bit more realism.
Yeah,
still staying in our like cartoony style.
That was all Roel's idea, and I think that's a really great idea, because basically what he's done, he's taken like a value map, like black and white, and white is just the color that we give in the shader, and black or when it's darker, just so gray or very dark gray, it slightly lowers the green value, so you get like a very tiny noise, but it's still within the color palette of the green that you've chosen. So it doesn't like mismatch in terms of color, which is really clever, because normally we have to make tileable textures for that, but now he has actually found a way that we can make tileable textures without having to make them. So that's,
and you
that's
can also
really
look
nice.
at the mountainside here. It's the same thing, only a different pattern. There's like a line pattern, which just give it a bit more character.
Exactly, yeah. Cool. Okay. Oh my god, the video is already 15 minutes long. Okay, let's just run to the rest of the village, because I don't it shouldn't be too long, but we already kind of speculated that because of this huge change that the video would be a bit longer than normal. Although we do know that some people from our Discord really appreciate it if we take the time to make a little bit of a longer video. So I hope you guys are happy with that.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm pretty sure that the town hall works, but the interior isn't finished yet, and I think the stairs, the gliders, don't necessarily work too well for some reason. At least when I, it's
a bit buggy.
Yeah, you can actually get
everything is a work in progress. So
yeah. But yeah, in the town hall over here is where there's gonna be a library. And there's gonna be some other cool stuff like a bank as well. That's why the building is so enormously big. It has 4 huge rooms where there's a lot of important stuff to do. And then over here we have the what's it called? What's the English word for this?
yeah, the shipyard, the docks.
The docks. That's the word I was looking for. Yeah. Small dock area, and where there's the fisher hut now. Basically, it's over here because this side of the world has most water. And if needed, if we wanted to make a new island or something, this would be the most convenient place to let your ship sail out, basically.
With also the new water texture. Don't know if we showed that yet. But it has like some nice little foam when objects intersect with it.
I don't think we've actually covered that yet.
I don't think so.
So much content! Yeah. Now, as you guys can see, like when something collides with the water, this really nice light gray blue foam starts to appear around it. And this is literally with anything. So if I were to jump into the water, it would react to me because it's a mesh, and basically anything that's in the water is gonna be connected to that. I'm not gonna jump in the water because there's no swimming in the game yet, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to get out.
We have to learn that still.
Yeah, that's a talent you need to learn. Okay, and then over here, the bridges. As soon as you cross these bridges over here is where there's gonna be some slight enemy territory. As you guys can see, there's a waterfall in the distance. That one still needs a little bit of work because the mesh that I'm using is just a plane. But basically, as soon as you're gonna be crossing this bridge with your friends or alone, you're gonna be finding the spiders that we've shown in devlog number 2 or 3, I think, or maybe 4, something like that. That's gonna be over here. Finding the dungeon is also gonna be... It's not gonna be very difficult, but it's definitely gonna take you some time to get there, and we're gonna try to make it challenging to a certain extent to get there, and also very rewarding if you get there. So yeah, I think we should definitely leave it at here because we're now at 20 minutes.
Yeah,
guys,
it's getting way too long.
Yeah, absolutely. Otherwise, we don't have anything else for the next devlog. Just kidding.
Well,
we always do.
There's a lot more to show.
Yeah. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to comment and like. It really helps the YouTube algorithm. So yeah, be sure to do that. Subscribe if you really like the content, want to keep posted. We try to upload every 2 weeks, and so far we've been able to consistently do that. So yeah, be appreciated if you could subscribe. And we're signing out, and we will see you guys later.
Bye bye.
Nice.